Hey everybody. Today we're going to show you how to use a purchase template and smart objects and manipulating the colors and sizes and what have you. So let's get started. So first, let's open up our project. I'm going over to File, Open. I'm going to go over to my folder. Oh, look at that. I can't import a WinRAR file. Okay, so let's see what we have to do. Let's go over and let's find it. I know where I put it, so that makes it easy. Easter. There's the new folder that we're playing with. So I'm going to double click my library, which is a WinRAR archive. And it opens up with the free WinRAR screen. You can download this at winrar.com. And I'm going to press the button without touching any of these here. I'm going to press the button Extract To, and it's going to make a folder inside of where I had the library. We'll hit OK. It's unzipping and unpacking everything. It's done. I'm going to close my WinRAR window. And now I see inside of my folder where I had my library, a new folder was formed and made. It's done. I'm going to close my, better word, double click it, and here's all the projects. Let's work on any of them. Let's do number 3. And I'm going to work on an 11-ounce mug. No sound, Amy. And there's our 11-ounce mug. Okay. Now, this is a very highly manipulatable template. You could change any color, any part of the bunny, the outlines, anything through smart objects. I'll show you how that works. So let's click on this purple egg.
You need a website. Why not do it yourself?
When I click on the purple egg, it shows me what layer it's in on the right side of my layer view. Because at the top I have auto select checked off.
Why not
Up at the top left-hand corner of my screen.
do it yourself?
When I click on the purple egg, pointer is selected, it shows me what layer it's in on the right side. So anything I click on will highlight the appropriate layer on the right side. So let's go back to this purple egg. I double-click this icon right here, Eclipse 1, copy 12, and my color window comes up. You can see the current color on the bottom, right here on the right, on this part of the screen, and at the top will be what you select. So let's say we're into hot pink. I click on hot pink, and you notice the color of the egg changes. Any color I click. You notice on the left, the egg is changing color. I'm just going to hit cancel because I was happy with the color that it was. But let's say we're not into green bunnies. We're into pink bunnies. I click on the bunny, and I see that it's shape 2, copy 4. That should be bunny. But we'll click the smart object icon. We're going to select keep layers. And now a whole new project opens up within your project. And if you notice, the new tab opened at the top doesn't say .psd like the original, but it says .psb. So that's the tab that a smart object opens when you want to edit certain elements of that smart object. So if you notice, all the layers here are each layer of that bunny. This bunny is not one picture. It is several shapes and objects put together to make the bunny. So the same thing applies to the smart object. Click a spot on the smart object. Let's take an egg, this beige egg, and you notice the ellipse at the bottom here opens up and highlighted. So whatever egg I click on, it's going to highlight the appropriate layer on the right side. So now I'm going to click this pink. No, I want to change the beige one. I don't think a beige egg belongs. I think that should be more yellow. So now I'm going to double click the icon, You see here, the layer thumbnail. And again, it comes up. I want to use this yellow. I think yellow is a little bit more appropriate. I click the yellow. You notice the new color goes from the beige to the yellow. Look at your egg on the left. It was the center egg. It changed to yellow. I hit OK, and it saves my selection. Again, we're not into green bunnies. I've never seen a green bunny. I like pink bunnies because I'll be giving this to one of my daughters. So I click on the part that's green, and the appropriate layer is highlighted now. I want to click on the layer thumbnail, and I'm going to pick the color that I believe it should be. You notice how bunny just changed colors. And I'm going to click OK. Now, you're saying, but it's in so many different sections. How am I going to make sure when the palette comes up on the color change that I'm going to be able to match that exact color and it won't look like two-tone? Well, that's very simple. Let's click the ear to highlight the appropriate layer on the right side. We're going to click the layer thumbnail, double click it. And now instead of picking out a color out of the color picker, palette here, we're just going to come over to here. If you notice the eyedropper, the pointer now changed to an eyedropper, and we're going to click the pink or any color that we want to change the ears to. So now I just matched that color. It changed to new, you see. I want to click OK. I want to go back to this ear, find my appropriate layer on the right side, double click the layer, thumbnail, take my dropper, select the color again, hit OK. And so forth for each one of the colors we want to change. I want to change this green foot, which might be this whole bunny. Let's see. The appropriate layer showed up on the right side. I'm going to double click the layer thumbnail, take my eyedropper, pick up my color, and look, most of the bunny changed to pink. I want to select OK. I'm going to come to the left again to my bunny. I want to left click on the tail, the appropriate layer highlighted. I want to double click it. I want to use my selector. And now it was the foot and the tail changed to pink. I want to select OK. My last green color here on the left is green. I want to click it to select the appropriate layer. Double click the shape thumbnail. Sorry, I had a brain freeze. Pink, appropriate. Hit OK. Now our bunny is the color that we want. So to apply this to the template, we're going to close this layer, and where it says Save Changes to the Adobe Photoshop document .psb, before closing, we're going to select Yes. Now this didn't save it in the whole template. This just saved it for now. This just turned the bunny. So now if we just close the document and we don't select Save, it'll revert back to green. So now we have our pink. And that's exactly how you change all the colors. Let's go to another project and change a different one. So I'm going to close this and not save. I'm not printing it out right now, so I'm not going to save it. I was just practicing. But if I wanted to save this as pink, I would just hit Yes, and then my template would save that in the master copy of the template. Now remember, if you accidentally save something to the master that you don't want, you still have an original copy in the WinRAR library that you can extract again. So always save that WinRAR library and put it away, because all the originals are in there. And if you mess up and save something, you can revert back. So I want to select No. Let's pick a different mug. let's use one that we have to insert a picture. So I'm going to go to File, Open, and let's see. Let's pick mug number 4 this time. So now we have mug number 4. It has a picture in it. Now this picture is just a free image from Google that had shareable rights to it that we were able to use. That's a whole nother video. So there's no copyright infringement on the picture. So I'm going to click on the picture to show me where the layer is. Now I've marked everything. So I have 2 things marked here on the right on the layer view. One says insert picture, follow above directions, because that's my placeholder. So you see if I turn it off, the whole circle disappears, including the framework around it. But what I did was I clipped the picture in via Smart Object to my shape. So no matter how big your picture is, it'll show up inside a circle and the edges will be not shown and masked out. So it says right-click, then select Replace Contents. Let's see what that means. So I'm going to right-click it. I'm going to go to Replace Contents. And now I need to look for a picture. So let's use one of my other templates that I have. No. Oh, sorry, I need to go to my working area. Those are all my finished projects. So I'm going to go to the working area. And now I am going to go to baby templates. And I have some other pictures here of other babies. Let's see. Let's look at this one. Okay, let's take this baby. She's quite cute. I double clicked on the baby and her picture was inserted inside of my frame. So let's do that again. Let's go back to the appropriate layer. So let's get off of it so you can see that only the background is selected. We can't put a picture there because we would have to place the picture there. What would happen is if we place the picture, it'll just put it on the screen. We really don't want that unless that's what you're looking for. That is not what I'm looking for at the moment, but if you are, you could use it that way. So we're going to delete the layer I placed. And I'm going to click on the layer that I do want to replace. So I click on the center of the picture. It highlights the appropriate layer again. I'm sorry I'm being redundant, everybody. I just want to make sure that you pick it up. I right-click. I go to Replace Contents. And I pick the picture that I want to use. So you see this time, the picture wasn't sized correctly. I have a line at the top, but if I click it, being that it's the layer that's selected, I can move around my picture with inside the frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down to the bottom corner like this. And with the correct, still the appropriate layer selected, I'm going to press with my left hand Control and T together. That's going to allow me to transform that one layer inside of the frame. I'm going to hold the Shift button and drag up the right corner with my mouse by left-clicking and holding. So that's big enough. I want to reposition. I mean, I could even go bigger if that's what I'm looking for by holding Shift again and dragging up my left, making it bigger. So now it looks like it pixelated a little bit because it's a little too big. But when I release or I confirm, hit enter, or the check mark up at the top here to get rid of the transformation tool, it goes back to full resolution and it's not pixelated anymore. Yes, the DPI did come down on that picture a little bit. So you have to make sure that your picture is an appropriate picture, at least 300 DPI or better, so when you stretch it out, it doesn't lose any quality. Okay, so we could change any of these colors. Let's take a look at my egg that Tweety is in, or the chick that's similar to Tweety. So now by clicking the purple on the egg, the appropriate layer showed up again. So you double click the Smart Object thumbnail, you select Keep Layers, and a whole new window opens up with my chick and my broken egg with the design in it. The chevron design. I couldn't get the word chevron out. Okay, so now I see that it's possibly Smart Objects clipped into Smart Objects, but we'll see how that goes. So let's click the purple here. We're going to double click the layer thumbnail, come up with our colors. It's going to be for a girl that doesn't like purple. And we're going to select that pink. We're going to select OK. And just for goofs, we're going to select the eye, which is actually a multi-layer. If you notice on the right, each layer of each object in this eye is a layer. So it's very highly customizable. I'm into blue eye chicks. Oops. I think I selected the wrong layer and I made that chick look very evil. Let's cancel that. And let's look for the appropriate layer. You click directly on the black and the layer on the right highlighted. Double click the layer thumbnail. With my dropper tool that pops up with the color picker, match the blue in this eye. Not that this looks good, but I'm just trying to show that you could customize any part of this chick that you like. If you're into green chicks. I know this looks ugly as heck. I get it. But I just want to show you that every part is customizable. Not one part of this template is not customizable. It's a very high quality template, high quality layers. And by closing the PSB, you save it. And that chick was applied to the project. So that's how you change colors in these templates. I'm not going to save this because my chick looks nauseous and hungover. And we don't want a hungover, nauseous chick. So I'm not going to save my project. Now for you folks that purchased a template that do not have Photoshop, I also included PNG files. So let's open up a PNG file. Let's go back to where I have them. I have it in my Easter folder. And let's pick that same one again. But this time, instead of taking the PSD file, I'm going to use the PNGs that I included for the 11-ounce mug. So if you notice, there's a transparency where the picture goes. So what you would do is, and there's only a single layer. This is a single layer PNG. The colors are not customizable. There's only a single layer. This is a single layer PNG. So we do File, Place. Now let's go get a picture. Back to my working folders and my babies. So you see that it's above, and it doesn't work out well. So we hit place, and then we come over to the layer view on the right side, and I left click and I hold and I drag underneath the layer, and now the layer is underneath the PNG, showing through the transparency. If you double click the layer, it still stays underneath. Single click to select it. See? Watch, if I click the picture of the baby, the bottom layer selects again. I hold Control T and I press it and release. And now by holding Shift, I can adjust my baby picture underneath to make it just how I like. And there you go. That's how you would use these templates with a PNG if you're using CorelDRAW or Creative Studio. Let's do another one. File, Open, Recent Places. Let's go back to Easter, to my folder. Let's pick a different mug. I hope this one has a spot for a... It does not. Okay. This one does. Okay. Let's use the 15-ounce size this time. So I just want to show you folks that if you go to the bottom where it says Dock and you left click and hold, you can see the size of the PNG is perfectly sized for a 15-ounce mug, 9 inches wide by 3.75 up and down, which is the height. So we have a spot for 2 pictures here. It doesn't necessarily have to be a baby, but that's what we're using today. This could be a picture of anybody. So we're going to go to File, Place, Recent Places. Just makes it a little bit easier for me. Find what I'm looking for. Okay, maybe not. Little libraries, working projects, baby templates. Let's pick a different baby. So I'm going to put it near the transparency I want to use. Oh, sorry, folks. Hold on a sec. Sorry. Okay. I apologize. And now we're just going to clip that in. So I put it on top. So what I would need to do... Oh, I don't need... I'm sorry, not clip it in. I'm ahead of myself. Doing the wrong thing for the wrong thing. I'm going to come down to the bottom and put it underneath. Make sure that the mug template is on the top. Now it's in. Let's place another one. And this one was much bigger. So let me put it up on top for you so you can see. I want this for this hole. So, if you notice, my layer is on the top of my template. I'm going to bring it to the bottom, underneath layer 0. And now the transparency hole isn't big enough. So I'm going to do Control T for that layer, hold Shift and Alt, and bring it in. I'm just going to hold Shift now. Excuse me. I apologize again. Okay. And the check mark at the top. And you just position it the way you need it. Now, the PNGs for Creative Studio and Corel Draw are not customizable. You can only place the pictures in underneath. But if you're happy with the coloring and the words, these are perfect for you. Okay, folks. Thank you very much. And this is Stanley Reisler with Coney Island Transfer and StayMe TV, coming to you live, well, recorded now, from Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York. And you can find this video on subandmore.com, which is our YouTube channel, or you can find it in the video section on Facebook. It's Sublimation and More Facebook group. I hope you learned something today. Any requests for any other videos, just let me know. Thanks, everybody. Be well. Bye-bye.